Welcome to the Randy McDonough channel where I talk about the cool music that belongs in your collection and the cold beer that belongs in your fridge. So cheers everybody, I got a vodka soda going, or maybe I should say Ura to any Russian viewers out there for the vodka. Thank you for inventing vodka. Uh, mm, Again, cheers. So today the cool music I'm going to be talking about is the Beatles. So obviously a band that needs no introduction. But the album I'm going to be talking about might surprise you a little bit. I'm talking about Twist and Shout by the Beatles. There it is. Featuring She Loves You. Of course, back in then it was a huge song. Still is in a way. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the vinyl first. Vinyl's kind of a lost art. I understand it's coming back in popularity. It has been over the last 10 years, but still, still not that popular like it used to be. It's still not what everybody has. But anyway, here's an original version of this album. It was one of only three exclusively Canadian releases, that the Beatles put out on Capitol Records. This one, like I said, February 1964. Before this was Beatlemania, which is right here. They've got it listed on there, but afterward was Long Tall Sally, eh? So that was 1964, eh? Beatlemania was 63 release, but after that they just mirrored the U.S. So it was I think all North American was the same releases from then on. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know about Mexico, what they were doing down there. I know they got good cervezas, but I don't know what they were doing with the Beatles if they mattered down there that much, eh? Okay, what else can I say about this thing? You know, the vinyl's really cool. Like I said, I got an original version. And the inner sleeve's kind of cool. It's still here. Got the angel, the Pathé, and the Capitol logo. Great artist, great music, great recordings. Very cool. And bilingualism was just coming into play in Canada. We have a large francophone population, French-speaking people in Quebec especially, and in the 1960s we were just starting to label stuff, with some French. So here's a little bit of French for you guys in Quebec. Artiste de renom, musique de choix, enregistrement de haute qualité. I know I butchered that, but I don't speak much French in Toronto, so I do the best I can. So anyway, let's have a look at the vinyl itself. One of the beautiful Capitol rainbow labels. I love that. So friendly, so happy. Um, Really nice. And it's a pretty good heavyweight of vinyl. Not like the 180s that they're doing now in the new vinyls, but it's still very solid. Because the stylus back then tend to butcher the records, So let's talk a little more about the record details, the sleeve. Interesting that there's so much copy on here, eh? Today, people's attention spans is pretty much that of a gnat, right? Or something like that. Nobody would read this through today, not a chance. But back then, look at all that. Look at all that copy. There's got to be at least, 1,000 words there or so. And even they're introducing each of the Beatles themselves because they were new to a lot of people back then. Birth dates, what the food they like, music, whatever, with clothes. What I found kind of funny was Paul McCartney's favorite food was steak and chips. So, is that vegan steak there, Paul? Just wondering. Um, so anyway, yeah, fantastic album. Belongs in your thing. The catalog number, by the way, is T6054, part of the 6000 series, put out by Capitol around that time. In terms of the music, let's talk about that. Fantastic music. What can you say about it? That hasn't already been said. It's great pre-acid Beatles, pre-psychedelic. Harmonica was still being used by John, I believe. Classic harmonies, lots of sha-la-la, yeah, da-do-do-da, do-do-um-do. I'm not doing them in the right context, but, it's quick, snappy, and happy music. Longest song, 2:55 at Anna. Shortest song, 1:50, There's a Place. Something else I'd note on this, there's 8 Lennon McCartney songs on here. But actually on the label, it only reads 7 like as one that's Lennon McCartney. All the other seven are McCartney Lennon, and I know Paul sort of requested that from moving ahead about 15 years ago that they have McCartney Lennon on the songs he dominated or wrote mainly with John's help. So it's interesting that the only one that's Lennon McCartney on here is "She Loves You." So that was always the biggest hit, but that was a John song, I guess, and the rest were all Paul's, which interests me because I always had it that John was the more dominant songwriter at that point, but maybe not. Maybe not at all. Please, please me, love me, do, from me to you. Wow. There's a place. P.S. I love you, baby, too. What the hell? Anyway, those are McCartney Lennon. So I don't know if any of you want to comment on that. Please do. Cheers. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, the music was fantastic. What can you say? George Martin produced it. Obviously, he was the producer right up until the end, I guess, except for Let It Be. And it was engineered by Norman Smith, and some of you might remember him as Norman Hurricane Smith, who had the great big hit "Oh Babe, What Would You Say?" I think in Canada and the U.S. was huge, eh? It's a great song. "Oh Babe, What Would You Say?" Maybe some of you remember that. Look it up. It's great. Oh wow! And this album went 3 times platinum in Canada, which is 300,000 sales. And don't know if it's pretty sure that's still where it's at in terms of what constitutes platinum. 100,000 in Canada, I believe. A lot bigger in the States. You got 10 times more people down there, eh? Hey to my American cousins, especially over in Buffalo, Pittsburgh. How you doing? I'm down in Florida. Don't forget you guys. Bradenton. Yeah. All right. Love those Gators. And another thing about this record, it was in my mom's collection, right? And she bought it back in '64. She was only 17. And funny thing is, I thought it was pretty cool, but this is a band in a way. She went to see it live with my grandfather and 3 aunts. They were all at the show at Maple Leaf Gardens in September of 1964. So funny thing is, I was there too in a way. I was born in October 1964, and I was in my mom's womb, so I was kind of inside. And I swear, every now and then, I have these weird dreams where I'm hearing "She Loves You" through a wall, and I wake up in a sweat, right? So I think it kind of came from that thing. I was in my mom's womb, a young teenage mom, but she was there. I swear, I must have been picking it up in my subconscious, or as a fetus, or in utero, wherever you call it. Maybe you guys can help me out down there with what you call the official word in your womb. Anyway, what else about this album? Backward factor. I play all the albums backward just for a laugh, see if I can hear anything, because all this backward masking stuff. The only word I swear I might have heard was Yoko. So that might have been a harbinger of things to come, man, for this band. I swear I heard Yoko I don't even remember what song it was, but I swear I heard it. I had a few drinks going. Cheers. Back to the music though. Instrumentation. The guitars suit the music. Simple, fun, a little twangy, early 60s, eh? No guitar wizardry like Randy Rhoads, man. Best fucking guitarist in the world, eh? Like fucking Zoso. No question. Like that's kind of the benchmark to all guitaring for me, eh? Randy Rhoads. Poor guy. R.I.P. R.I.P. Randy. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, but still, this album, what can you say? It's the Beatles. Wonderful band that I can't even talk about. But, I'm going to rate it 5 Woo Lemaire! Goes like this. 1 Woo Lemaire, 2 Woo Lemaire, 3 Woo Lemaire, 4 Woo Lemaire, 5 Woo Lemaires. Woo Lemaire! Get this one in your collection, you young people, if you don't have it. And if you can get it on vinyl, even better, because it sounds really cool for your audio file. It's monophonic, but you can play it on all stereo phonographs, as it says down here. And it cannot become obsolete. So, they really knew what they were talking about, because I don't think the Beatles music will be obsolete either. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Rate, subscribe, comment. Please add your comments, because I look forward to hearing from some of you people who actually maybe we're in 1964. We're right on top of the Beatles, eh? And not just hearing them through your mom's tummy wall or just as a baby. Okay, so thanks very much, and we'll talk to you later, eh? Cheers.